If Queen Sugar don't do nothing else, it's gonna make you cry. That's just that. Let's get into
The thing is, the cops saw it, so they didn't pull it.
Thank you for clicking on the video. Welcome back to the channel. Like I said, Queen Sugar, per usual, had me in tears. And like it couldn't come at the worst time. Like these episodes, right now in my personal life, dealing with loss, it's a lot. It's a lot. So watching Queen Sugar ain't help, but I got to give y'all the review, so here it is, okay? We got Darla. She's reupholstering a chair in the house, you know. Like her, she is just like the rest of us, you know. We have found all kind of hobbies to pick up. The dreams that you had when you was a kid, you know, you done worked the 9 to 5 so long, you know. Now we have a chance to like just sit and really, you know, think about what it is you want to do with your life, what it is that you have been missing out on, or what it is that you know, put to the back burner to, you know, work or whatever. So that's what Darla's doing. She done picked up a new hobby. You know, last week she was sewing something up. So she's reupholstering the furniture. Well, a chair that's in the house, an old chair. Ralph Angel is headed to work. You know, so we see, you know, he's got his uniform and all of that. Blue even tells him, I like that. I like that. I like that uniform, Pops. I like that. But on his way out, you know, Darla comes out there and we have a small little, it gave me, after school special, sort of, you know. And it always does when they come in with the, yeah, well, they say, you know, you got to take precaution and take off all your stuff before you coming out. You know, all the stuff the CDC was telling us, the media, all the stuff that they were telling us when it first hit. And, you know, we had that first wave and we were in quarantine and everybody was at home. Blue is just telling them, listen, I know they done said take the temperatures, but I read somewhere where that doesn't even help. It really doesn't even make a difference. And so, yeah, that's a little bit of information on checking temperatures. They like, okay, thank you, Blue. Thank you for your expertise on temperature checking, and we'll get back with you when we need something else. Nova and Calvin are having breakfast, and, you know, he's trying to butter her up because he need a favor. His daughter is about to come back home from school. You know, they kicked everybody out. You know, at first they were letting them quarantine at school, and now it's, no, everybody has to go. So she wants to quarantine with Nova and Calvin. And of course, Nova is like, I don't know about that. Is she anything like her racist mama? Because if so, she can't come stay here. Like, she was on some, is she trying to spy on me? Like, what was the reason? What is the reason? Okay, why does Courtney want to come stay around here? Is she trying to spy? Is she supposed to be reporting back to your mama? Like, this is a mother-daughter situation we talking about, and I just need to know, can I trust her? And of course, you know, Calvin is like, of course you can trust my daughter. She's nothing like her mom. The apple does fall from the tree when it comes to them. Like, they're polar opposites. You don't have to worry about her. You're going to be fine. She's going to be great. And of course, Nova's like, I ain't comfortable with it. I don't like it, but I can't turn your child away. I could. I definitely could. I definitely would have been like, nope. Nope, she can go stay with her mama. Why she need to come stay here in my house? See, I'm letting you stay here. I'm not letting you and her stay here. Nope. See, I ain't even that girl. I ain't never been that girl. That's a problem. That's a problem, maybe. But I mean, I guess it's a blessing that I didn't meet Tim in a time in our lives where he might have had some kids, you know, because it would have been a deal breaker for me. Sorry, but not sorry. Charlie and Micah are in the kitchen. She's making a salad. They're getting used to being home, like I said. This episode felt very filler-ish to me, but whatever. She's, asking him about his little friend. So tell me about your little friend, this new girl you've been talking to. Before he can get his rebuttal out, said friend, calls him, and he has to take the call because listen, SZA called, and Charlie like, okay, I guess SZA over salad. You don't want to spend time with your mama. You just got this new girl, and that's who you spend all your time talking to. I guess we only quarantined together. The least you could do is entertain your mama. But anyway, then we see Hollywood. He gets a FaceTime call from Aunt Vi. He's in Baton Rouge visiting his mother. And he tells her that they're not letting him go in there to see his mama. So, more of the same. We're dealing with the ebbs and flows of this whole thing in this episode. And so, Hollywood is, there were a lot of people that dealt with this same situation. Having a loved one on a ventilator at the hospital and not being able to be there in the room with your loved one, holding their hand, keeping them company, whatever the case may be, people just weren't allowed in there. And so he was letting her know that. And of course, Aunt Vi ready to take her apron off and get to Baton Rouge because you shouldn't be out there alone. He tells her, stay put. I can't be worried about you and my mama. So, because you up in age too, Vi. So you really don't you stay out. Stay at home. Put your stuff down. Stay home. Trying to go. Girl, you at risk too, like the rest of the elderly. Aunt Vi must think she a young tender because she got this young man, this young husband. She thinks she a young tender too, and you not. You, Mr. Prosper, and all the rest of the elderly folk in St. Joe need to sit down somewhere. Anyway, she says she gonna stay home. She can't go. She got to stay. He said he been in his car for 4 days, just sitting in the parking lot. He found any old window, to stare into and pray. He don't know if it's her room or not, but he feel like it's in the vicinity, and so he just sending a prayer out there. And he been in the car for 4 days. I do it for my mama too. Be right there. Nova and Calvin are preparing, for his daughter to arrive, and then she gets there. And right away, Nova's like, it's a pleasure to meet you. And she's, oh, the pleasure's all mine. Give her this big hug. I've been watching what you're doing. I read, the truth articles. Like, I just love you. I love what you're doing. Like, I can't wait to get to know you. And Nova's, taken aback. She's like, okay, well, all right. She seems like she might be an ally. So, okay, let me show you where your room is. She's cool enough. Prosper calls Aunt Vi back. He been screening everybody calls, sitting over there, lonely, depressed, watching the news that's telling them, basically all the elderly is just dying off. Like he need to get out that house. And Vi tells him that, have you gotten out? You the only one on the property. She always talking to him like he a little boy. Have you gotten out, Prosper? You're the only one on the property, so you can go ahead and get you a little walk-in. And he say, no, he ain't gotten out, but he gonna get out. You know what, Prosper? Well, I'm here by myself and you home by yourself. Maybe, it seemed like the two of us should just be together. You pack you a little bag and you can come on over here and I can cook you a few meals, and would you like that? And he say, show you right. Of course, Puddin', I'll be over there in just a minute. You just give me just a few minutes to gather my things and I'll be on my way. He lit up with joy, oh, finally, finally some company. Charlie is watching TV and Micah comes in there and joins her. She starts talking to him, about their early days, before the fame, before all of that. She talks to him about, Davis not being very present early on. He was a basketball player, so he was still traveling, with his team. And she was practically a teenager when she had Micah. I'm assuming she was a freshman in college. And I knew a girl like that. She had her daughter her freshman year. she still finished. She pledged, all of that. Because her daughter was back here in Atlanta. But it happens and you can make it happen. Like she just showed him, yeah, this is how far we've come, but let me let you in on how it was. I was a slick single parent, and I had you early in college, and so she was determined to finish. She was determined to meet the goals that she had, put in place for herself in spite of getting pregnant and having Micah so young. She's like, if I'm going to be a college mother, I'm going to be the best college mother. And she did it. She did the damn thing. And so Micah, of course, he's impressed. He impressed with his mama. Ralph Angel is at work and he runs into this man who is in his room, sparring all by himself. And Ralph Angel stops and the guy turns around. Oh, hey, young blood, what's your name? How you doing? Where you from? All of that. His name is Mr. Reggie. He and his wife moved into that facility about a year ago. And she's in another wing because she's dealing with early onset dementia. So she needs a little bit more care. So they're separated. Ralph Angel, he tells him his name, Ralph Angel. Now there's a name. I'm just little old Reggie, Reggie Miller, Reggie Miller. Ain't that Master P's name? Right? No, he Percy Miller. That's Percy. He Percy Miller. Who is Reggie Miller? A basketball player? Right? Don't get me the line. It's somebody. That name rung bells when I said it. Anyway, he and his wife, Mr. Reggie and his wife, they have been married for 57 years. It's just a great love story. Right off the bat, I just knew that Ralph Angel was going to take to this guy and that they would be, spark up a quick little rapport. We see Calvin and Courtney and Nova playing spades, I guess, and Calvin getting his tail whooped. So he in there mad, and he calls Courtney aggressive, and she goes in, and Nova's just sitting back like, so she is, woke and an ally. Not necessarily showing her ally side in this conversation, but she woke, okay? She's one of those, let's dismantle the patriarch kind of girls, She's a feminist on speed. She is Nova's cup of tea for sure. Then we see Mr. Prosper. He made it to Aunt Vi's house, and she shows him to his room or whatever. He gets settled in, and she gets a call from Hollywood, and here we go, y'all. Mama Willie Mae has passed on. She's transitioned. They taken her off the ventilator. It's nothing left that they can do. Of course, Aunt Vi is like, well, no, this just seems so sudden, so fast. Like, it ain't nothing that they can do for her. Like, can she go somewhere else? And he is like, no, listen, if I keep her on this ventilator, I'll just be doing it for me. Like, there's literally no progress. It's so sad. I was crying, like weeping, because that's a lot, and that was a lot of people's reality. I was finna say back in 2020, but I mean, we still here, ain't we? We still in it, ain't we? So I mean, that's a lot of people's reality today. Then, poor Hollywood. Anyway, we see Micah is helping Charlie like look through some files. She's still on the case. She's still doing her job, still trying to get ahead of Ernestine Parker and them. And he's helping her look through some files, and he gets up from the couch and leaves his phone, and it vibrates when Charlie goes to sit down. And so she picks it up. But you know how those voice memos are. You pick it up, you touch it, it's going to play. And so somebody had sent him a voice memo, and she touched the screen and it started to play. He come over there, what are you doing, Mom? Like, what are you doing? That's not cool. You going through my stuff? And she's like, you dating white girls now? It did sound like a white girl on the phone. My God. Oh my God. The party is so lit. Get out here. And she's like, party? You going to a party during the pandemic? You really going to be that socially irresponsible, bringing back the germs and the virus up in this house? affecting me and whoever we love. Like, no, that's not what we doing. Micah. And, Micah's just like, mind your business. No, he's always on some, I'm grown. I'm not a little kid anymore. I'm not a little boy. You can't just tell me what to do. All that. And she's like, you going to the party, and he said he just gonna stop through there. You ain't stopping through. He said he just gonna stop through there and he gonna come back. He ain't gonna expose nobody to nothing. He gonna wear his mask. Lies. Anyway, Charlie tells him, you gonna do this? You running out there for some sex? You putting our life on the line for some sex. Just like your daddy. That was low, Charlie, because his daddy he all types of ain't shit. You know that, Charlie. And saying that was a read and a dig, and you shouldn't have said it. And she immediately regrets saying what she said, but it was too late by then. Micah had done grabbed up his keys and he was out. Okay, Nova and Courtney are, like clearing the table from the card game, and they're having a little conversation. Nova tells her that she's glad she's here and all of that. And Courtney is just like, listen, I don't judge you for the past. Listen, the past is in the past. Your past with my father is up for interpretation. Like, listen, I'm not judging y'all. I see how happy my daddy is with you anyway. Like, I ain't never seen him this happy, this attentive, this in love, not even with my mama. So you the one. You the one, Miss Nova. And I can't wait to get to know you. So yeah, that solidifies it for Nova. Nova and Courtney gonna be like this. Mr. Prosper, he in hog heaven. He eating good. He got his feet put up, just living the life over there with Aunt Vi. And she comes in and she has to tell him the news about Willie Mae. And of course that changes his whole countenance. And Mr. Prosper's just like, why us? And why this way? Mr. Prosper, I don't know. I wish I had the answers. I want to know too why. What's the government's beef with the baby boomers? Because it seems like they're on attack. Like they're under attack. Excuse me, not on attack. They're under attack. And that's just a little conspiracy theory that I can roll with, and I'm gonna roll with because I feel like that's what's going on. So me and Mr. Prosper, we here with that. Mr. Prosper, you on to something. I want to know too why y'all and why this way. Feel free to answer in the comments if you got an answer. Mr. Reggie is sitting in his room playing cards by himself, and he seems sad. Ralph Angel comes in there to change the trash, and he asks him, what's going on, Mr. Reggie? You seem a little down. It's his birthday. So is Zora Lee coming by? His wife. That's his wife. Zora Lee can't come by. They've cut off visitors on their side as well. So, excuse me, he has to spend his birthday alone, when he was going to spend it with his wife. And, of course, Ralph Angel is like, well, say no more. Say less, Mr. Reggie. I got you. I throw parties with the best of them, so I got you. I'm going to take care of that for you. You just don't you worry. And Mr. Reggie tells him he gonna start calling him Mr. Goodheart because you just got a good heart, son. You're caring after me. You took to me and you don't even know me. Taking care of a man you don't know. A young man. Taking care of an old man you don't even know. You Mr. Goodheart. And that's true. Ralph Angel is turning into his dad right before our eyes. Even though we didn't get to see much of his daddy. Like they killed his daddy. First episode, season 1, episode 1, their daddy was dead. We saw him for a split second and then he was gone. Just, I guess, long enough just to see who the daddy is. I don't know. Micah and Charlie are talking about, she and Davis's first fight. And again, she's explaining to him, how big and bad it had gotten and Davis had, left for a few. But she put him out. And, he was there every single day, from that day forward, doing his part. And she said in that moment, in that big old blow up or whatever afterwards, she had to apologize, and so she's apologizing again to Micah. I know you're a grown man. It's just taking me a little bit longer to come to grips with the fact that my child, my son, my baby is a grown man. It's taking her a minute to get used to that, but she's not alone. Listen, my son's 6, and I'm trying to get used to that. So I can't even imagine what that's going to feel like sending him to college. I'm going to be a wreck. I'm moving in. We moving to what college? Where you trying to go to school? Florida? Okay, well, I guess we all going. I guess we all moving to Florida. No, I'm not going to be that mom. But I am it's going to tear me up. It really is. She tells him that she was wrong, period. I'm sorry, baby. Excuse me. Not baby, because he ain't a baby. And she had to check herself. I'm sorry, Micah. And they hug it out. Micah's like, why would you even go there with me? I ain't nothing like that, nigga. I ain't nothing like my dad. You ain't have to go there, Mom, but, all is forgiven. Calvin, he in there with Nova trying to get some for Courtney get back, and they're just hashing everything out. He's appreciative of how accepting she is and how she's been with his daughter. She's like, I like her. I can't wait to get to know her. He in bliss. And she's like, I just want you to not feel like once the quarantine is over and we like actually go back outside that it's going to be all, hunky dory, because it's not. Like, the people out here in St. Joe are probably just like your ex-wife. And so we got it from her already down to the party. Like, it's not going to get easier. And, he down for the ride. He is down for the ride with Nova. He in it. He in it for the long run. So that's just that. Charlie is still, doing the paperwork thing, looking through all of those files. And Micah, he asked to help her. Like, what are you looking for? And she tells him that she's looking for old parish bylaws, so she can be ready for Ernestine Parker when she come back. Micah is impressed with this, it's the movement of it all. And he want to help. He's saying, I feel like we can make us a great team, taking down the man. West and Bordelon. She's like, maybe Bordelon and West. That sound better. Then, he throw out some bars. She thinks she got bars. I don't even remember what she said, but I was like, they are so lame. The lame jokes you have with your kids. That's what that was given. Mr. Reggie is sleeping and Ralph Angel, drops by. Mr. Reggie, I got a surprise for you. Mr. Reggie say, listen, I don't like surprises. Come on, come back later. No, just this once. I promise it's going to be worth it. Come see what I got. So he gets up and goes to the window, and Zora, I was going to call her Zora, Zora Neale Hurston. Zora Lee is outside the window. And, he's like, oh, my good old baby. It's so good to see you. I miss you. And she's, oh, baby, I miss you too. So they stand there and love on each other from, the window, which is the most pitiful thing I've ever seen. But that's what people have to do. People who are, in nursing homes or hospice or the hospital. Like, you can't even lay hands on nobody. Can't hug the people, can't do nothing. You just got to stand and look at them through the window. So they do that, and I guess it's enough for them, that's all you can get. After that day, Ralph Angel, gets home and he's outside on the porch, because he has to take this road before coming inside. And he's out there doing that and talking to his father at the same time. Because I think his dad is buried on the land. I want to say he is. So is their mother. But anyway, he's talking to his dad on the porch, whatever. And, at the same time, Hollywood, we see him back at his mother's house looking through her things. And he finds an old postcard that he sent to her when he was in the military. Y'all, this was another moment where I was just toe up, crying. CRINE, crying. I couldn't take it. I just couldn't take it. It was in that moment that Hollywood, broke down. He had been cool, we didn't see it at least, but that in that moment, being in her home and reading that, he broke down, and so did I. Ralph Angel goes to Darla and lays his head in her lap, you know, and cries, you know, because after the day he's had, and he realizes, you know, life is too short. I don't want to end up without you, you know, being my wife. Like, so let's just do it. Let's just get married sooner than later. I know you wanted a big old fancy wedding, but I'm trying to get married this week if you down. And Darla says she down. Let's get married tomorrow. So in this next episode, we'll be seeing a wedding finally between Ralph Angel and Darla. This show is so heavy. I mean, and I every time I watch it, I be like, see, this is why I can't watch this show like this. Because it's so heavy. It's so heavy. Well, it can be. I need more drama like it was in the beginning, you know, as opposed to reliving what I've already lived in real time. Anyway, be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me Busby, and I'll chat with you later. Peace and light.